Hey guys, JT with a quick throwback Thursday. Now, some of you guys may be laughing and saying, "Oh, that's not really a throwback." It actually is, and I'll explain to you why I'm doing this as a throwback Thursday. This is, of course, the Traxxas Rustler VXL. The Rustler actually came out in 1994, 94, 95 at the latest, I believe it was, and it did have like the Stinger 20-turn brush motor, if you guys remember that way back then. And then they also had a mechanical speed control. Then they went to the XL5 speed control. And then, of course, over the years, they've done some very, very minor updates. But the platform literally remains the same. They've just done kind of minor updates to it. So this is kind of a throwback Thursday and kind of an overlook of this as well. Of course, this is the brushless version. And I believe it was around 2007, maybe 2008-ish, when Traxxas actually started releasing some of their brushless models, like this brushless Rustler two-wheel drive. So with that, they've done some stuff over the years, but the design, the layout has literally almost remained the same since 2004 with its release. Of course, there are a couple of things like the color of the chassis and stuff. There was a black chassis, and then the transmission also put a little light going on here. The transmission also was not metal gear transmission. It was plastic gears, and then over time they've just done upgrades and updates to it. So some of the differences between, of course, this one and the one that was released in 1994 is going to be, one thing is going to be the tire and wheel size. These are 2.8 size wheels, and back then it was 2.2. And I'm not sure, but you still can't race with 2.8 size wheels when you race at a local track with Royal rules. So that's going to be, you know, some of the differences there with that. But they've done, like I said, with the VXL model, there are some small differences, you know, adjustable turnbuckles and stuff like that. That's on the VXL model. That's not on the XL5 or the brush Rustler model. Like I said, some stuff has changed as far as the chassis. Maybe they started making it with a stronger plastic with that, because it did come with the black chassis and stuff. But this design has been very successful for Traxxas, and there's tons of aftermarket parts for it. So that's probably why they're kind of keeping it as is. They'll do minor updates and stuff like that periodically. And my guess is some of the next updates they're going to start doing is going to be bodiless or clipless bodies that can mount on here, like on the Rustler 4x4. Not sure how they're going to mount that too much on here, but that'll be interesting to see them do that. And they'll probably beef up the drive shafts as well, because I think the Rustler 4x4 platform was kind of a pilot for what they're going to start doing with their cars going forward, which was kind of a good pilot to do that. So other things that have changed, they did kind of change and adjust some of the shocks and stuff as well with this, but this platform literally remained almost the same. It does come with, I believe they call it the Magnum 272 or 272 transmission on it, which they used. And if you guys are pretty old school, you guys remember that Traxxas had something called the Blue Eagle, and I had that for a while. And this platform literally took over for the Blue Eagle. The Blue Eagle was kind of a racing stadium truck edition that Traxxas had released, which I love the Blue Eagle. I had one, and I love that truck. We were running brush motors and Novak speed controllers back then, and of course nickel metal battery packs, 7 cells, and thought we was just the bomb. But this platform literally took over the Blue Eagle, and you guys may be able to find some Blue Eagles out there on eBay. I'm not 100% sure, but the design of this has kept Traxxas moving forward and staying afloat, I should say, not in a bad way, over the years, because people still buy it. This chassis design is the same as what's on the Bandit. It's just the A-arms are going to be a little bit shorter, and then of course different tires and wheels, and the body mounts are going to be a little bit different. And then they use this transmission design as well for their two-wheel drive slash. So the layout's going to be somewhat similar as well. It's going to be a little bit different because they have a two-wheel drive slash that has a high center of gravity. And then they released the LCG chassis too for their two-wheel drive slash. So this platform has been around for a while, and it's kind of a smart business move anyway, if you think about it, when you're producing a lot of cars and stuff. You want to try to stick to some of the same platform and stuff, which is good, which is what Traxxas has done. And that's one reason why it's remained successful for so many years, because when you go into any hobby shop, you're going to see Traxxas everywhere. And the first things you're going to see is the Rustlers, the Stampede two-wheel drive, which uses the same transmission except for the chassis is a little bit thinner. and then of course a Bandit. When you normally think of RC cars, most people normally think of a Bandit style or a buggy style type of RC car. So other things that have changed, of course, they went brushless. So this is probably the, I want to say, almost third generation VXL speed controller. I know this is probably about the third or fourth generation of this VXL motor. When they first came out with this motor, it did have like several components to actually put it together as far as the can wise. And of course, they went from a single or a 2-pole motor to stronger magnets to a 4-pole motor right there. And you can kind of hear some of that resistance in there with this. And I think that they're going to be continuously doing upgrades and updates for these cars, but I don't see the platform changing too much over the next several years. They're probably going to stick with this for a very long time. So I'm going to get some videos up of this running, because I haven't got videos of my Rustler running in a long time. So I'll be doing that pretty soon as well. If you guys want to search my channel, I have tons of videos of Rustlers running. I've done modifications to them. I've extended the chassis out and stuff like that. So there's tons of videos out there, but I figured it's time to go ahead and give this a revisit. Take it out there. This thing for me is fine out the box. If you want to race, you need to change out tires and do a lot of adjustments to it. But it is possible. If you guys get a chance, look up, I believe it's called the fastest Rustler in Florida. A guy actually took a VXL Rustler, changed out the tires and wheels, and did some minor shock adjustments and stuff, and won a race with it. So it depends on the driver and the setup and stuff, but you guys can check that video out, because it was pretty impressive that he did take a stock out the box Rustler and do some minor changes to it and run it. And Jane from URC also did a lot too with his. So you guys can check all those videos. And one other thing I want to mention is they did change out the radio. They have went through several different types of radios. This is the TQI. This, of course, has the Bluetooth compatibility and stuff like that, and the Traxxas link onto it. But they did have AM radios for a long time, up until several years ago. Then they started using a TQ radio for their brushed models, which is still 2.4 gigahertz, and then they got this TQI. So they have made incremental updates over the years, and I'm pretty sure they're going to continuously do that. Like I said, which isn't a bad thing. And of course, it doesn't come with the Willy bar. This is the Traxxas Willy bar I bought for it. But I would like to see Traxxas release some more upgrades for this. Not just some of the aluminum stuff, but do a light kit. Do a body that's got lights built into it. Stuff like that would be pretty cool. But we'll see what they do in the coming years. But I want to do a quick Throwback Thursday and show this Traxxas Rustler. You guys put your comments down below if you have one. And like I said, I'm going to take this out pretty soon and do some serious bashing with it, because two-wheel drives are pretty good to bash, and they're easy to fix when they break. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching.